Guys, welcome. What's up? Welcome to one of the weekend's mini videos that's going to be coming out on OpenBullet 2, the functions of the program, and more in-depth explanations of config writing and things such as where do we pull all the data from, how do we get the URLs, how do we get the cookies, how do we get the posts, how do we get all that stuff that we need. And I'll be answering videos. This one here is just aimed at absolute beginners, and we're going to be creating a config that is going to use or utilize HTTP GET requests, and then we're also going to learn how to do some data parsing, and then we're going to learn how to do some key checks to wrap it all up before we output our hits. So basically what, at least just to keep it very simple, this config is you want to have one function, and that is to load this web page, which was set up specifically for this, and it is going to pull data such as who is it logged in as, what is their membership level, when does it expire, and what is the save payment, or what did they pay with the last time. And it's basically just us loading a page, simple GET request, and then we're just parsing some data from the source. So very good learning opportunity. So let's go ahead and begin with that in OpenBullet 2. We're going to go to our config sections, and we're going to create a new one. We're going to name this, we'll just do, looks like we just created it as a new config, or we're just going to name it as OB2. Example number 1. Okay, sure, sounds good. Head over to our stacker. If you haven't familiarized yourself with the stacker yet and played around with all the functions and all that good shit yet, you're behind. Stop being a leecher and fucking learn this program. Spend some time with it. You're going to enjoy the videos we got coming out. We're definitely going to help you out. So it's time to start understanding this program, guys. It's time to start doing these things in OpenBullet 2. It's time to start helping yourself do the things that you're asking other people to do. Okay? So let's go ahead and create a new block. We're going to go into our requests, and we're going to, for this example, explore HTTP, and we're going to hit request. Now we're just going to be doing a simple GET request, which is just like us loading a page, basically. One thing I like to do though, in all my configs, or at least a good portion, at the beginning, I want to do a utility, and I want to clear cookies. I want to bring that to the top, and basically what do we want that to do? We want to, that way when we're making new requests, we don't have any cookies to pass ones. So it's just common, nice, standard practice that you should get into doing. That, and then we also like to do the, I can't remember, do we do it in here? Where's the random, is this under function? Yeah, random user agent. I like to do that as well. Then do it. So the URL was dev-linking OB2, and let's go ahead and, just for the sake of seeing what happens, let's go ahead and hit start, and as you can tell, it is going to successfully load the page, and it just looks like the SVG. Yeah, so here's the coding, and so it gives us the response code. It just gives us all the code as it's written, except it doesn't give us PHP code, it gives us JavaScript and such. So now we're looking right here, and we can see the data that we're going to want. Okay, you see that here, you see that here, it relates in code. Now, going through this, we know for sure that we're looking for a span inside of the div ID username. So knowing this information here, that's what we want. We can go ahead and create a new condition key check, and we're going to name this one as, we're going to have it be the user name. I can check that if we don't want to ban if no match, and that just means if it doesn't. Okay, we'll go to that another time. Alright, here we're going to have a result status, Oh, I'm sorry, we don't want to key check yet. I got ahead of myself. We want to parse some motherfucking data first. So let's go ahead. We're going to be parsing here. We're going to be. What the hell? Oh. And we're going to capture this, of course. The input's going to be data source, and we're going to use an L to R string, which makes it really easy. Or actually, let's just do CSS. We'll do CSS selector, and it's going to be number, username, span, inner text. And let's go ahead and just for the sake of it, let's run this and see what we get returned with. It says right here, variable username mark for capture, and the parse value is exactly what we want. So you can see how powerful and how easy parsing data in OpenBullet 2 is. All you gotta do is give it a data source, and the rest is just easy as that. Sometimes it's not as simple and easy as that. Sometimes it is. There are other methods. There's regex, you got xpass, and then left to right, of course. You guys know that one. And you know, there's a lot of different ways that we can do. There's a lot of different things here in this one, and it's just something you have to play with and experiment with to get better. So let's go ahead and instead of well, actually, it's not that bad. Let's go ahead and create another one. Right here it says we've got our recents, and we can go ahead and parse some more data. And here we're going to do a little cache grab type shit on the member level. Okay, so we want to grab that real quick. So let's just like this. Oh my god, I gotta get a home row here. So we'll do level, capture, data source, CSS, and then again where's member, level, span, and then it should only do the first one, but it may get the second one for us as well. We'll just see how that goes. I'll just see. Because there's two spans inside of the member level, so let's see what happens when that happens. So it looks like ultimately ready. So it only grabs the first one. But it is, if we go to show variables, we are successfully getting these. And then here you can see the random user agent that we used to load the page. So when we continue to move forward here, we have grabbed our name and level really easily. So let's go back over. And let's go ahead and get the expiration date that we can have. So we'll do the same thing again. We'll do some parsing. We'll do expire. And then we'll do member level span dot expire date. And we should have it very easily. It should have the expire date. Let's see what it has. We see right there, oop, we don't have any data for expire. And why is that? Because the span has to be, there's no space in between those two, right? Perfect. So then we have that. And it already has expires written, so we don't have to worry about that. So what else was there? And the saved payment. Then we can go ahead and very simple and easily we can parse that data as well using the same method. Actually, let's switch it up. We'll still parse the data here. Let's do we could do it left or right maybe. Then it'll take all of it. But let's just go ahead and show that just for the sake of showing. So left or right, if we wanted to, we can grab it right here. We can do, this is going to be the left, and then this would be the right. So we're going to capture everything in between that. Okay. So if we run it, now we should get the payment, which is going to do, it's going to output the HTML completely, as you can see. It just straight does it, but we know it's going to be the same on every single one. So we can do this as our left, and this as our right. Run it again, and now we don't get that. We just get the value. So that's just another way that you could do it. Just remember that sometimes, you know, the L to R's don't work because of variances. CSS class doesn't work because of variances. It does sometimes, just like this version works sometimes. And just like if we went to XPath, and the only way I know how to get XPath, I'll just cut that. But the only way I know to get XPath is to go here and bring up developer tools and have a little look here. Let's say we're trying to get that one. We can right click it and go to copy XPath. I'm going to go over here and we can plug that in. We just want to get the inner text, run it again. And it's good and running, and you can see right there that our variable remains the same. So you can do that as well. You have a multitude of different avenues you can go, and regex is a very powerful selector. Not necessarily useful for this, but now you can see how we have all this captured. So before we even start capturing, we want to run and see, make sure that we load the page correctly, right? So we will have a key check. So we can say, and this is success, and that means it will continue and do this, and then we'll do string data source contains, and then we'll say that it has to contain this right here. It has to contain this. Or let's just do this there, because save payment looks like something that's only been on the page that we need. And say fail if data source doesn't contain that. And I'll show you guys an example here of how we can run this and make it fail. So right here, if we just load the initial page, now it's going to come through and it should hit us with a fail right here. Does not contain. Whereas if we go back to where we was just at, it'll have no problem completing. It does contain it, so it will let it continue. So you can see how that works. So now anytime that we load the page, and it would be, you know, hypothetically different, because we're loading into like a page where we'll log into a user account, and then it will be different depending on the user account. This is just an example of how to capture the data from a page. And we went over a couple of different ways. We will show you more advanced ways to use this. Whenever we are writing more configs, we will do we're going to write a config here in the next video. It's going to be it's just going to be a simple config, but it's going to be for a actual live site, and we'll learn how to hit some credential stuffing using OpenBullet 2, more traditional uses, off-shelf use of the program. We'll go in more in depth in the next video, which we will be using get, and we'll be using post requests, and we'll also be doing some data capturing. And also we'll be looking at URL manipulation, and you know, how we get the URLs and stuff that we use inside of the program. So it's just a simple config. You can create this yourself. It's very easy, and that just basically shows you how easy it would be for you to scrape some data using OpenBullet 2. And now that we've laid out everything, we're going to end the video here. This is just a short little video on basic parsing of data and key checks, as well as basic request usage in OpenBullet 2, as well as some standard practice config writing. Next time we'll dwell into getting a account creator or account checker config, another creator, a checking config for a kind of popular file hosting service. We'll do some automatic logins, and show you how to parse some data. Until then, let's keep it leaking.